Rattenschwanz. Mir egal, was du jetzt sagst oder was du machst, ja. Meine Lines, sie werden immer krasser. Ich mache bald Feature mit Young Alpha,
Welcome to it. This is your boy Nqobile Nonchenga ndingumkhumbu Mbatsano Machaya Xesibe. This is the first episode of The Substance. Basically, it's going to be going through the whole journey of a stand-up comedian in this day and age. So I haven't done stand-up comedy in about 6 years. The last time I performed was in 2019, and I was at the Goliath Comedy Club in Melville. So I haven't performed, I haven't done stand-up comedy in a long time. When 2020 hit, lockdown and everything, it was almost a redirection. I was prompted to look for backup or something else that I can do. And I focused on my studies, my education. I went to school, went back to school actually to complete my degree. I done that, graduated this year, 2025. What a journey. And I knew I wanted to go back on stage. I didn't know in what form, but I knew that I had to use faith. Faith had to be what leads me. First gig, I went to Baxter in Maboneng called Monaco Lounge. His gig every Wednesday. And unfortunately, I did not have the opportunity to do my set. I started writing in October. Actually, I started with impersonations. I started doing Trump. I was like, I think I like this impersonation. That jokes came out of that. I started writing from October, and I knew that I had to try these jokes. Started with Trump. So good, so great. So jokes came out of that. I knew I needed stage. So October did not perform. Started writing. November did not perform, and I performed only last week. That was my first ever gig in 6 years. So we're going to go through the set. We're going to look at my mistakes, the things that I've done. Now, what hit me the first time I really saw comedy live in over 6 years was that first gig I went to at Monaco Lounge. And I think Bongani Dube was headlining. I knew immediately the harsh realities of comedy. I was like, this is not easy. I've done it before. I know how it feels to get laughs. I know how it feels to come up with the great premise and a nice punchline and to get that feedback from the crowd. But the harsh realities of people not laughing at your thing, completely crazy. So I was preparing myself. I am different from who I was 2019, the last time I performed. I've grown. I've lived a life. I've worked at a call center. I've done life because I started doing stand-up comedy around about, I think I was 22 when I started doing comedy. So it's been over 10 years of experience. So what happened was the gig was in Soweto, hosted by Zico Stole. And I've played there before. I think the last time I went, Jay Boogie was the host. It's a place called Ozone in Soweto. I think it has that Def Jam comedy feel to it. And I remember meeting Isaac Gambo with a friend of mine called Tools. And Isaac Gambo had this thing. He said to us, never drop the mic. Never drop the mic. Basically, when we go through the set, you'll see I have a normal introduction. It's a bit dark. I think we have to go outside. Let's go outside. So basically, when you look at the set, right? It has my normal introduction that I used to do back in the days. But the difference now was that the crowd was a small crowd, very intimate, and I think about 15 to 20 people, even less. So I wasn't nervous, but I was a bit excited to try these jokes now. My main thing with this performance wasn't about perfection. It was about the feedback. I just want to know if these new jokes actually work. I think that's the most difficult part, to actually know if the stuff you're saying, does it work? So I started with my introduction. It's a joke about my name.
Thanks for coming and supporting South African comedy. Guess what? My Afrikaans teacher used to call me Nyobile. For real. I was studying grade 4. Can you imagine?
Now, because I have so much material, it was the most difficult thing to choose what to start with and how to actually structure the whole set. So I ended up doing about 8 to 9 minutes of jokes. First joke was about me as a satellite technician and the differences in the houses and black people's houses. You experience this, and so I noticed that I forgot a lot of punchlines. I forgot the premise, but I think it felt more natural. So we'll just listen to because the video is low quality, but I have audio of the set, which I think works better. Just listen to the first part, and we'll break down how that joke develops over time. I might perform this week again. We'll see what happens. So, moving with faith and trying to achieve your dreams. I mean, after you graduate, you think that you're gonna get a job. Immediately, I had to realize that, while I'm still job hunting, let me actually do something I'm passionate about. Second joke after that was the whole G20 thing about Trump being here. And again, the same pattern. I messed up the premise. The whole premise was how, firstly, it was the first G20 in Africa, and Trump was like, I'm not coming. I mean, I've just survived an assassination. You want me in Joburg. Joburg is not safe. So that was the whole premise. And I messed it up by quickly rushing into the actual joke, because I wanted to do the impersonation. So when I was looking at the video, the actual impersonation, it was okay. I didn't get the mannerisms right, and I was focused a lot on the voice and what Trump was actually saying in that moment. So I lost the so good. I messed up a lot of his lips and the way he moves his hands and the shape of his body. I didn't do none of that because I was rushing the joke. So I needed to start the premise in a certain way where Trump just, there's nothing that South Africa could have done to convince Trump to come to South Africa. That was the whole premise.
First G20 in Africa. Trump was like, and these. Hey, Joburg. It's not safe. Joburg is not safe. For sure, we would have robbed Trump first day. We wouldn't waste time. First day, it's all be good. And you know Trump would have been complaining Labaya, CNN, BBC, you know Trump. South African criminals. These are black guys. They call them loud shitting, very bad. And you know, why you know Trump. You know Trump. You would have been traumatized. First day in Joburg.
So I just rushed into the joke, and the crowd reaction was okay. I didn't expect that reaction. So, and then leading into that, I had like a connection between how Ramaphosa would react and how Nelson Mandela would react, because I've been working also on a Nelson Mandela impersonation. I have fought against. So I've been working on this impersonation. So I was trying to the set to flow. So I moved from Trump to Mandela, to Festive Crime, and I ended off with something about how money changes you, and I gave because this show was in Soweto, so I had to do like a very kasi topic, which is about our shop owners, like our foreign shop owners. I'm here with my mom.
Your mom is stressing.
Not really. We're operating from faith. So what do you think about my step towards stand-up?
I don't have time, so I'm a stand-up. Asambi.